Hello. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? Audio. Is the audio coming through? There's no audio. Is there a switch? Huh.
There's nothing.
Oh, hold on. I know what's wrong. Let me go here. I think I have to set my... No, it's not that. It's the audio is coming through the speakers. So yeah, I have to go here. There we go. Okay.
Whenever I stop, the car shakes. Now, a couple of days ago, I was coming down. Switch your hand here. Flakes. Quarters. Calipers. It's the calipers. It's okay. Calipers! Don't you want to take out some tools or something? That's not how we do things here. Don't worry about it. Roy! That's not natural.
The point is, you would not want to take your car to this mechanic. Yes? No. So the reason is we need objective data. We need, even with cars. I'm here to teach today about bringing objective data to manual medicine. The objective data is extremely valuable. I'm going to cover some of the details about this. The point is to document the need for care and to track progress over time. My background, my name's David Marcarian. I am the inventor of the MyoVision. I was with NASA Ames Research Center doing research on ergonomics for the helicopter, designing better hand controllers. I was awarded when I was 26 years old a grant from the National Institutes of Health, $450,000 to design and build the MyoVision. I lecture throughout North America and established the validity of the tool in the biggest court case in U.S. history, going to the Supreme Court level in Florida, establishing that this tool has the ability to evaluate for back pain, spine pain. And I hold multiple patents for this throughout the world. The device, the MyoVision, simply utilizes ECG. You know ECG? ECG technology, exactly the same, but much more sensitive, all right? Because the heart generates lots of muscle activity, very easy to measure. The muscles of the spine are small in comparison to the heart, so the heart is easy to measure. This is much more sensitive than the EKG, so it's much more intense. There's two types of service EMG. There's dynamic and there's static. The dynamic is this, where we're graphing, it's not on the screen right, that's okay, where we're measuring muscle activity and graphing over time. The static, the length of the bar is proportional to muscle tension. So when the bar is sticking out, the further it sticks out, the more muscle tension. So you can see percent difference. The EP stress score down here is a sum of all the readings, the sum of all the readings. Think of the service EMG, the static, as a stethoscope. You touch to the skin to measure levels of muscle tension. So it works just like a stethoscope. It's a handheld device. And so watch this video. You can see, you can see you touch to the skin, you get a quick reading of muscle activity. You can see here, and we move down the spine. And so here you're going to see the single. There's two different types. There's a single and a dual. So the single device, you work down the spine, measuring the left side and then the right side. And people seem to like it because it's like a stethoscope. It's one measure at a time. The dual is a little bit quicker, but you can see how the mid-thoracic spine is very high. Here's the dual. You can see that it's a little bit faster. It gives you two readings simultaneously. It gives you the same results. We're seeing in the US, many people like the single better, but you can see that they're very similar in how they work. We also send the software sends the test to the smartphone. It's a great way to send it to the patient to educate them and keep them engaged in their care. This is dynamic. This is a ballerina, The electrodes are attached to her TL muscle, the front, and you can see that as she's performing these motions, she has, this is her left and right muscles in the front, and you can see when we get to this point, she's been having serious problems with performing as a ballerina, and this helped figure out the problem. It's right here, where she uses too much muscle activity, too much tension on one muscle instead of both balanced, and it came out in doing dynamic testing, okay? Very valuable. So people talk about surface versus needle EMG all the time, and the truth is they're completely different measures. Needle EMG is for evaluating for nerve damage. Surface EMG is for looking for muscle guarding. As far as research studies, there's 2,235 in a PubMed search on needle EMG, and surface EMG, there's 10,879. So it changes everyone's perspective when they find out that there's so many more studies on surface EMG than needle EMG. But the reason is that it's not painful. You apply it to the body with no pain at all. The needle goes in. Now, a group decided to do a research study to compare needle and surface EMG. They did a comparison. And in this study, it's not on the screen properly. It's a narrow screen. You can see that this is needle EMG, this is surface EMG. When you bend into flexion, you hang off ligaments, all right? You're hanging off the ligaments, and what that does is the muscles shut off. It's a reflex for a muscle to shut off. It's called a flexion relaxation response. And you can see the needle EMG. If you look at the outline, it's exactly the same. So they found that you can't see it, all functional phases in the surface EMG, all functional phases in needle EMG showed up in the surface EMG, but they're completely different measures. Needle is for evaluating for nerve damage. Surface is for evaluating for muscle guarding response to pain. It's a measure of the pain response, okay? Very simple. There's a lot of confusion about it. The study that was a meta-analysis found that static EMG, you need to do the test standing, all right? Never do static seated. It's completely invaluable. It has no value seated. When you're standing, you can see short leg, you can see antalgic posture, you can see other variables, because when you're standing, it's a stress test. When you're seated, you're doing a measurement of the ergonomics of the chair. Muscle guarding is the body's natural defense mechanism to pain in motion, okay? Muscle guarding is the body's natural defense mechanism when the body is fighting gravity, trying to maintain posture. Muscles, we all have experienced, tension. That's what we're measuring. The study done by the Veterans Administration Hospital found that the EP stress score, this is a sum of all the values, all of these readings, add it all up. This single number can track progress over time. 3 months of manual therapy, and these patients had a significant decrease in their muscle activity. So they found that it was an objective measurement of spine pain, okay? That using the static EMG was an objective measurement of spine pain. Think of it as an electronic form of palpation. Electronic form of palpation. You're actually electronically, objectively palpating. It shows, now be aware, it shows the high readings where it's red. Red is bad, acute. It's an acute firing. When you have low readings and you have high readings at the same time, these low readings, it's a muscle contracture state. It's just as important. So the high and low readings are what you look for. The low readings mean that it's more likely a chronic problem, long-term chronic problem. Muscles will actually bulk up and shorten. Giant weightlifters, electrically silent muscle, but big. So the muscle creates the splinting effect without firing electrically. So the things that cause the problem, joint immobility, lack of joint mobility, short leg phenomena. You see structural issues, antalgic posture, pain. What we're looking at on this graph is the muscular compensation and asymmetry of muscle firing. Okay, so that's what we're looking for at this graph. In the balance mode, when we see the balance, we're able to use it for a heel lift. You know how you lift the heel for the shoe? That you can see that the change that occurs pre and post heel lift. See the imbalance to one side? Now it's more balanced after a heel lift. So it's a great way to utilize the tool for setting heel lifts. Okay? Also, patient awareness. It makes the patient engaged in taking care of themselves when you show them. See the watch? I can't feel this. Can I feel my glasses? No, I can't feel them. Why? I've become desensitized. We become desensitized to what's in our bodies, and this shows what is intangible, something you can't see, becomes something now you can see. And it makes it so the patient complies. If we have problems getting patients to come to us, this helps solve that problem. It gets them interested in coming to see you because you're showing them something that's invisible, okay? This patient was interesting, yoga instructor. She said, there's nothing wrong with me at all. You can see the high readings in her mid-thoracic spine. Those high readings showed that she has a problem in her mid-back. Well, her motion comes from her low back and her upper thoracic, but her mid-back is locked up. So I went to touch her, and you could actually feel she responded. She said nothing's wrong, but this made her aware. Now she's a patient. She had nothing, no